is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are no. That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar.
So Jake Tapper recently released a book on the alleged cover-up by the Democrat media, who were in lockstep with the Biden administration, working together to hide Biden's very clear cognitive decline during the entire 4 years that he was in the White House and even before he was sworn in. The book is called The Original Sin, Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, and it was released on May 20th. And of course, it is drawing some important questions and rightfully a ton of criticism. Liberals want to know, how could Jake betray us? And conservatives, well, we're giving this man the side eye asking, does this guy really think that we are buying this as some kind of come to Jesus moment? And at the end of the day, will anyone welcome Jake into their circles, or could this be the end of his career? Because if liberals hate him for being honest and conservatives don't want him because he's still a snake, where's he going to go? We're going to get into all of this, but before we do, I am Outspoken Samantha, and I would love it if you would hit the thumbs up button on this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. So before we get started, I want to be clear. I have not read this book, and I am not sure that I'm going to. I am curious about what Jake supposedly exposes in his writings, but I also don't want to contribute to what is clearly, at least in my opinion, another situation of someone being the first to jump on a gravy train and share the dark secrets of a past administration before someone else does. We'll see. However, I do find the response to the release of this book absolutely fascinating. But based on the information that I have been able to find so far about this book, apparently Tapper claims that Biden aides, family, and allies orchestrated this deliberate cover-up of his deteriorating mental and physical health, something that, again, anybody with a speck of intelligence was aware of from day one and even before day one of this man's presidency. But it became something that the media and the Democrats could no longer lie about after Biden's disastrous performance during the June 27th, 2024 presidential debate.
In an attempt to reassure voters about his fitness for office, Biden campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon holding a call with party leaders earlier today, telling them this too shall pass. There is a discernible pattern of Democratic officials seemingly trying to convince you, the public, to not believe what you saw and what you heard with your eyes and with your ears on Thursday night.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
I would argue, Jake, that the Democrats and the media have a long history of trying to get us to deny what we see with our eyes and what we hear with our ears on pretty much every single issue, not just in regards to the presidential debate. But moving on, the book is apparently based on over 200 interviews detailing anecdotes such as Biden apparently failing to recognize George Clooney at the celebrity fundraiser. You guys know which one I'm talking about. And aides discussing the potential need for a wheelchair if Biden was to win the re-election. Now, across the board, this is igniting a conversation about Biden's fitness for office, but both sides are approaching it in different ways. On the right, as we are constantly on a daily basis trying to draw attention to the relentless media lies as their blatant lying and cover up of the truth in countless instances has been on full display for years at this point. We are interested in the extent that the media was involved in covering up a U.S. president's very clear downward spiral, and that includes Jake Tapper what he knew and why he didn't say anything if this truly bothered him that much.
Feel when they see you make a comment like that?
It's very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have
to watch
no
somebody on stage
I can't.
search
That's
for
so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
a cognitive decline. President Biden embraces his stutter, talking about it, while Trump mocks it, exaggerates it, belittles it. He's sharp physically. I mean, mentally.
Yeah.
I think the question is physically, right?
Right.
More so?
Right.
Right. And the guy who's his chief opponent is only 3 or 4 years younger than him.
Exactly.
I mean, you have questioned President Biden's age, mental fitness, ability to lead. Of those supporting Biden, you said, quote, shame on all of you pretending everything is okay. You're leading us and him into a disaster. Do you worry that you damaged him at all? I don't doubt that you got hugs and handshakes behind closed doors today, and maybe even publicly, some of them because they like you personally. But I've heard a lot of really nasty stuff about you from your Democratic colleagues. Sure. I mean, just like, what is he thinking? Exercise in narcissism. I mean, false claims to the Wall Street Journal about President Biden's mental fitness and acuity.
And Jake Tapper was one of the lead voices, pushing whatever talking point they had to get out there to distract from the very clear decline that this man was on. Whether it was blaming it on a stutter, the flu, whatever it is that they had to come up with, and accusing the Trump family of bullying him, if that's what it came down to. And not only that, throwing conservatives under the bus for simply pointing out the truth. And conservatives online are not holding back about what they truly think is going on here. On this post by Jake Tapper, as he is promoting his book, underneath, Molly says, the mother bleeping audacity of you to do this after running 24/7 interference on behalf of him and mocking and attacking every single person who noticed Biden's decline. The mother bleeping audacity. Have you no decency? Have you no shame? This post says Jake Tapper getting ratioed into oblivion, promoting his new book on the real story of Biden's mental decline. He really does have utter contempt for his viewers and thinks they're all morons. And then there are people that we might not necessarily agree with, like Chris Cuomo, who are making some interesting points about what this book might be trying to achieve.
Comes to Biden, you know how I feel. You didn't see and hear his obvious diminished capacity? What we mentioned here at News Nation all the time, this is a shocker. And now the narrative gets a nudge from a book that is about deception and a cover-up. They want you to believe the media was deceived into thinking Biden had no issues. Don't count me in on that. I knew, okay? And it was no secret because you knew too. The book is titled Original Sin, claiming to detail how Biden's staffers made efforts to hide his decline from the public and the media. The cover has Biden with his hands over his eyes. And it could just as easily be a picture of the writers of this book who are pretending they didn't see and hear what everybody else did. And look, I do believe the book is a cover for something. And it's a cover for something that's much more serious to me than Biden's age and stage ever were. The reality that many in the media knew damn well that Biden was losing it, but they played it down because they wanted Trump to lose more. The original sin is not hiding Biden's age and stage, but hiding this preference.
Exactly. Now, since I haven't read this book, I don't know if it's really this massive expose on the media's participation in this massive scandal, or if it is a cover for the media itself. Is Jake Tapper really trying to reveal the truth, which is that the media absolutely knew that this was going on the whole time and they were complicit in hiding what was going on? Or, and this is what I really think is more than likely, that Tapper is trying to convince us that the media was just as clueless as we were, that they were being lied to, and that they are also victims of this deception. Because if that is what Jake Tapper is trying to convey, then he absolutely hasn't changed one bit. In fact, he's worse than all of them. We already know that the media thinks that we are stupid and they need people to be stupid in order to believe them. But just the idea that he thinks that we'd believe that they didn't know either, that's a whole other level of insulting our intelligence. I'm just saying. The media absolutely knew, and no amount of pretending that you want to own up to your mistakes and want to appear as though you're coming clean is going to convince anyone otherwise. Now, obviously, liberals are going to be upset as well, because when are they not? But they're upset about this for different reasons. I heard a phrase on TikTok a few weeks ago that absolutely applies to this situation. Someone said, if you want to make a conservative angry, tell them a lie. If you want to make a liberal angry, tell them the truth. And that's exactly what is going on in this situation. Libs are pissed that the truth is being exposed, except of course they are never going to admit that this is the truth. Now, this was apparently from Naomi Biden, who is Joe Biden's granddaughter, and she's just upset that we are attacking this good man who is her grandfather. In this post, it says, new, Naomi Biden, Biden's granddaughter and daughter of Hunter Biden, his crack-addicted son and bagman, is lashing out at CNN's Jake Tapper. She slammed Tapper over his new book, which detailed how Biden's inner circle covered up his cognitive decline during the 2020 election. She called Tapper and others irresponsible, self-promoting journalists, laughable. She also insists that Biden is a good and honest man. Now, we can agree that these people are irresponsible, self-promoting journalists, but as far as irresponsible and self-promoting, Miss Biden, you are describing every journalist who covered this stuff up for years. And what would a liberal response be without an unhinged take from the hags of The View?
When is Jake Tapper going to write a book about the cognitive decline of the person who is in charge right now?
I would like to respond to that.
These people are truly incapable of accountability at all. Their puny brains have been programmed to deny any wrongdoing, and when the pressure is applied, they just spew out the word Trump, and their mindless base responds accordingly. Turn attention away from the corruption of their own party and become enraged at the big bad orange man, even if they have no idea why. Ultimately, I don't think that this book is going to accomplish what Jake Tapper hopes that it will, whatever that is. People who are sane are not accepting this as Jake Tapper suddenly coming to light and wanting to better himself. We don't believe him any more than we believe Gavin Newsom, as he's trying to now portray himself as some kind of centrist, and that he's suddenly opening his eyes to the heinous beliefs and egregious policies of his own party that have devastated the lives of countless innocent people. He doesn't care about the lies that he told or how these lies have caused division and violence, particularly toward the right. He saw an opportunity to further his career and to make a lot of money, and he took it. And he's not the first one to do it, of course, and he won't be the last. But if he doesn't think that we see this for what it is, then perhaps the next book should be about Jake Tapper's cognitive decline. Anyway, after this, I don't think anybody's going to want to align with this man, but we will see. That is all I have for you in this one. I appreciate you so much for being here. Please hit the thumbs up button on this video. I would love it if you would subscribe. Other than that, keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.